Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is Bacoo 8-year-old rum. Now, the funny thing is, this was actually my very first video I've done on the channel before the studio was created, and I wanted to come back, revisit it, do it the right way, proper way, in a proper setting. So yeah, Bacoo is a Dominican Republic rum, aged 8 years, coming in at a 40% ABV. And the whole story behind Bacoo, their name relates to spirits trapped in bottles in the Caribbean areas. And essentially, when you find those bottles floating out at sea, there's a possibility that Bacoo, the spirit, could be in them. Sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're mischievous, but kind of an interesting little story. And Bacoo themselves, they actually source everything right from their own plantations. So the sugarcane, everything's harvested right up the road from where it's distilled. Really cool. I love that a company can tote that they get everything locally. That's just such an interesting thing for me. Instead of sourcing it or bringing it from other countries, other places, they can just all do it right there themselves. Now, I will be reviewing their other bottles. They have a 3-year-old white rum, their 5-year-old, 8-year-old, and 12-year-old here for the United States. And they also have a cafe rum. When those go live, they'll be up above, down below, so check those out. The interesting thing over in Europe is that they actually do a 4, 7, and 11 year. So why they decided to go different, a year different over there for palate reasons, I'm guessing? I don't know. But this brand recently started showing up in my market, I'd say probably about 4 or 5 months ago. And the bottling just caught my eye. Very rum looking bottle. I love the design, and I'm always a sucker for thick bottom glassed bottles. So as always, we're going to be trying this 2 different ways. First way, neat, no water, no ice. Second way, we're going to be adding just a few drops of water, see if anything changes. Okay, let's get into it. Yeah, and I love the texture. It's almost like the floorboards on trucks and things. It's got kind of a back and forth, a little bit of a just jagged feel to it. Now, this is a sugarcane based rum. Most of your rums are either going to be molasses or sugarcane based. And while they don't tell us anything, everything is ethical about their process according to their website. But being an 8-year-old, I'm almost going to guess that maybe a little color added to that. I don't know. It's fairly dark for an 8-year-old rum from what I've noticed. Their 12 is about the same dark color, so it's a little darker. But even if it is, I'm okay with that. Fine, whatever. Beautiful, beautiful, almost amber-like color to it. Darker amber. Let's go for nose. So you get a sweetness right from the get-go. Almost, it's almost a syrupy sweetness. Like, if you've ever seen those machines that you press the buttons to create your own flavors for pops, this is like the sugary sweetness for cream soda kind of sweetness in there. Almost, I wouldn't say quite to vanilla icing, like sugary icing, but like a cream soda type of sweetness in there. You get this punch of vanilla along with that as well. A little bit of oak. Oak shows up just a little bit. Being it's a rum, it's going to be ex-bourbon, unless they tell us otherwise for the casks. But yeah, nothing too crazy on the nose. Nice, simple flavors. If you're into rum, you know these flavors are pretty common. Maybe a little bit of raisin in there as well. Some kind of a lighter dark fruit. Yeah, I'm going to have to say maybe a raisin going on. But that sugary vanilla sweetness is still there. Again, probably best way to put it would be syrup for cream soda. Okay, let's go for taste. ABV shows up a little bit on the taste. It's not overpowering though. Vanilla forward with that sugary sweetness coming in with it. Almost burnt caramel on the taste. It's got like a burnt caramel note on there. It's not bad. Dry finish. It's finishing right now. Yeah, dry finish. A little bit lingering of that oak quality to it. You still get that sugary sweetness. That vanilla is still there a little bit. Okay, let's go for another try here. See if anything pops out. Oak shows up a little stronger on the second taste. You still get this pretty good pop of vanilla and that cream, that almost creaminess quality to it. I like that finish though. That finish is nice and simple. It's dry, almost wine-like dry. It's not like, it's not a bad finish at all. I like that oak quality left over. It's in that sub-budget range in most markets, which we'll get to. It's not a bad finish at all. And again, that ABV shows up just a little bit. Not enough to be offensive, but enough to let you know that you're having a little something. The more I keep stepping on it, the more that oak note comes forward. You get that bit of barrel going on there, which isn't bad. Especially starting off how sweet. I mean, it's up here in sweetness, and then it's kind of tapering off in that sweetness just a little bit, just enough, and going to more oak and I'm going to say it's a raisin quality to it, like a raisin, like dried raisins to it. Dried grapes, whatever. But it's not bad at all. It's nice and simple on the finish. That dry finish there is good. Yeah, that's nice and simple. All right, let's see if anything changes up with a little bit of water added. Let's add a few drops of water, see if anything changes up. Maybe one more drop in there if I can get it. There we go. Just a little bit. We don't want to add too much to her. Your sweetness is almost all dissipates. That sweetness kind of goes away at this point. It's still vaguely there, but it went from like an 8 to a 2. Yeah. You still get a bit of that oak quality on the nose, but, and it's almost like the person catty corner to me is drinking a cream soda and I get a small whiff of it. It's really not pungent at all. But it's not bad. Let's go for taste. Yeah, it just mellows it out. The sweetness still shows up on the taste though. The oak quality comes out a little stronger right from the beginning. You still get that sweetness in there. The ABV kind of mellows it out. The ABV is nice. It really changed. Here I could taste it just a little bit, and here to me it almost makes it non-existent. The dried fruit note that I was getting is still there, but it's in the background more. Yeah. Oakiness. Basically, my palate's going oak. You're getting a little bit of that vanilla sweetness, and then that little bit of dried fruit that I'm going to say that's a raisin quality to it, and just a nice simple finish. It's not as dry on the finish. It actually feels just maybe a fraction not as dry, but still nice. But it definitely dials back the sweetness. If you're not used to rum sweetness, adding that few drops of water in there just completely dissipated that sweetness and gave it a little more of that oaky quality to it. But it's not bad. Actually, being just a couple drops of water changed it that much. I would be a happy person either way. Wouldn't matter me which way if you serve that. Because as always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. So yeah, there you go, Bacoo rum. Now, as we all know, market price is market price. In my market, I can usually find this for about $18. And I've seen some places go as high as $28 to $30 on some of these bottles. Mainly the 12-year one goes up into $24, $25 in my market. But this one being sub $20, to me, it's a decent buy. Especially if you're looking for something a little different. In my opinion, I think rum is starting to really jump up in the market. Kind of like what whiskey did 10 years ago. I think we're starting to see that rush of rum, which could be both good and bad. We're going to see some interesting things come to market, and we're going to see some things show up that are questionable. But I think Bacoo is doing it right. Even if they added a little coloring to this, which, again, I don't know, it's fine. You know, it's got good flavor to it. It's got a nice rounded profile. And I think at an 8-year-old rum, it's pretty solid, especially for that price. So yeah, there you have it, Bacoo rum. If you have any questions about this bottle, feel free to ask down below in the comment section. I will do my best to answer those. And if you have any other spirits you'd like me to review, let me know down below as well, because I'm always looking for something new and exciting to try. It's always one of those things that I'll do my best to look for it if I think that it's something I'd enjoy. So yeah, on that note, may your last drink of the night be your best one.